Hi, everybody. Dave Clark from InspectCheck.net. And we're continuing with some more training videos and things that we see out in the field. And just trying to make these videos more of not the every single thing that you see, you know, a bad roof covering, missing shingles. I mean, that's boring stuff, I guess. Maybe not boring, but I really want to talk more about things that we don't see every day. And so today is one that we probably see more than we should, but I just want to give you some direction on how to report it, what our standards say, what, you know, good building practices say. I'm not going to get into codes, but pretty much they mirror that. So we're going to talk about vents and basically exhaust vents. So we see them going into, you know, from the bathroom, we'll say, or kitchen, and going up into the attic, and then they terminate there. Of course, we know that that's a problem. Lately, though, I've seen a couple, more than a couple, maybe, in new or newer builds. So we'll say within the last 5 years or so, where that vent comes up and turns in and goes into the soffit. Okay, and that is not where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to show you a picture of an older house that shows that going in. I'm going to show you what the problem is with that, what the issue is, and more importantly, how to report on it. And I've had a couple of builders say that's the way we always do it. And I've even had code officials say, well, as long as it's not dumping into the attic space, if it's dumping into where there's a vent, you know, we're not going to call that out. I completely disagree with that, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why. And let me share my screen with you and show you what I'm talking about. So this is an older house, obviously, you know, older wood. It's not plywood, but like I said, I've seen it in a few newer builds. In here is a soffit vent. I'm not even sure that that's vented. I can't really remember now, but I don't think it even was. But even if it was, it doesn't really matter. It's good that it goes all the way through to the soffit, so it could be vented. Right, and this is coming right from the bathroom, and it just dumps right there into this eave, if you will, in the soffit. The problem is all this warm, moist air. Let's pretend that it even is vented, okay? Let's just say that's completely vented, and it could be vented over there. I can't really remember, but let's pretend it is vented, or maybe there's a small vent back this way. And so you think, oh, it's good enough, it's vented, okay? The problem is the way that the house breathes. It's a natural chimney effect, so the air comes up, you know, and we use red showing the air. So here's the air coming out of that vent, and then any subsequent air that comes in from the outside, and we'll assume that's where it's coming, is going to take that and draw it up and really push it around here. And you could even see that there's some discoloration already here. You see this is much brighter, right? There's some discoloration. I'm not sure how long that was like that. A lot of discoloration down here. It's going to take that warm, moist air and push it up into this area, right up into the roof deck and whatever decking is there, whether it's plywood or OSB or even tongue and groove, and it's going to rot that. Okay. The other part of the problem is we're going to get our special friend forming there, and that's called mold. So no matter what code people will tell you or builders will tell you, that's not the way it's supposed to be. So what is the, you know, where should that go? Well, it could go, let me take some of this down. I'll show you, I'll give you a couple scenarios. It should go 2 places, I'll say. In this case, it's probably only going to be one. It should just be vented right out through the roof right here. So you put a hole and a boot and all that. I know, I don't like putting any more holes in the roof than I have to, but that's one. And then the roof would probably have a turn down because we don't want to get water in there, or a cover of some sort. So that's one option. Another option, and I could draw it for you. I could draw it for you right here. If this is what we're looking at on the outside, okay, and currently, this is dumping into here, into where the soffit is. It's not a great arrow, it's a better arrow. Dumping into the soffit. What most standards say, and accepted building practices say, 2 things. One, it should be 1 foot below here. So that vent should come out here, and we'll say that that's going to be 1 foot. Okay. The other thing is that this area here, directly over it, and maybe on either side of it, should not have a vented panel. I've heard different things. They say, well, if it's a foot down, it's okay to be vented. I would disagree with that and say no, because it's only a foot. If it's more than a foot, then maybe if it's on the first floor, probably definitely not going to be an issue. I can't imagine it would travel that much. But if it's only a foot down, I would say that those panels should be solid, so the air does not get drawn up into it. Okay, because it could still get drawn up into there and then end up in here. And so that's what I recommend to my clients. A lot of home inspectors agree. Maybe you do or don't. Any thoughts you have, be happy to hear them. You can comment below. So if we see this, I'm going to say, what are we, how would we report this? Okay. And let me grab our report, and here it is. And so in this case, the way my report is set up is that we do have roof ventilation in the roof section, but we're viewing that from outside. So if I would have seen soffit vents there, I would have put soffit vents there. They're satisfactory, but they're really not satisfactory, are they? You know, so, you know, in our ventilation, roof ventilation here, it would say, you know, soffit vents or whatever is up there, and we would say serviceable or satisfactory if we feel that there's enough, or maybe we want to add additional vents. But in this case, we wouldn't know from the outside, so we include that in the interior section. Why? Because we're going to find it in the structure attic, because that's where we are. We're not going to see that unless your inspection, you go in and out of the house. I like to kind of do it in a synergistic way where I start outside, and I can always go back and change it. I mean, if we put something in the roof section, we just click on that and make the change. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not like we're erasing like the old days, right? So put the location of the attic, what's the structure like, and then the condition. And in this case, I really don't, you know, I really think that could be a problem, not only with the ventilation, but we worry about mold. Okay, so we've got condition required necessary repair. So we want them to do something about that. They're simply just going to click that exhaust from some kitchens, bathroom, laundry areas, and we could, you know, pare that down to exhaust fan from the upstairs bathroom, right? Recommending exhaust fan properly vented outdoors, either through a sidewall or through the roof, just like I said. And I would tell my client through a sidewall 12 inches below the soffit, and then make sure that that soffit's not vented. And if it is and you don't want to change that, then it would go through the roof. So this is the direction our report automatically gives them, and I feel that that's good advice. So hope that helps you out. I have a couple of requests for that. Like, what do we do with this? And for some reason, you know, it seems like it's happening in newer builds or new builds. And I don't know if it's just laziness, or they get the roof is all done which it usually is, right? By the time they get in there, and then maybe they put that bathroom vent in, and they don't want to go through the siding or go through the roof. They just dump it into the soffit. I don't think that's a great idea personally. So I hope you found it enjoyable, and that was a request from somebody. So please do me a favor and subscribe to our channel below here. You'll be the first one to get these videos. We've got a lot of them already out and many more coming out. You can also check out some links on homeinspectortrainingonline.com. And have a great day, and see you next time.